neighborhood to stay in when you're visiting Cairo. I've been living in Cairo for over 4 years, and today I'm going to be explaining to you the most popular neighborhoods that travelers choose to stay in and list the pros and cons to each area so that you can make a better informed decision, plan your trip better, and choose an area that best suits you. And then in my next video, I'm actually going to be riding my motorcycle around these areas so that you can see the streets, see the shops, understand the distances from one location to the next. So subscribe, turn on notifications for that, and without further ado, yalla bina. First, let's take a look at the map to better understand where these neighborhoods are within the city, as well as major tourist attractions. Starting with, for those of you that don't know, Cairo and Giza are two different cities. This, of course, is the Nile River. Everything east of the Nile is Cairo, and everything west of the Nile is in Giza, with various islands falling into either Cairo or Giza jurisdiction. The two most popular choices for travelers staying in the cities are either by the pyramids of Giza or in downtown Cairo. Downtown Cairo is located here, and the pyramids of Giza are located here. The drive from downtown Cairo to the pyramids of Giza is around 35 minutes with little traffic, but can take up to 45 minutes or even an hour in heavy traffic. I'm going to talk more about these areas later on in the video, but let's quickly take a look at the locations of some of the major attractions for visitors here in Cairo and Giza. Of course, the pyramids of Giza, located in the city of Giza, is a must-see, and the new Grand Egyptian Museum, also known as the Gem, is located here, very close to the pyramids of Giza, but still not within walking distance. That is pretty much it for tourist attractions in Giza. Now we're going to jump over to Cairo side. The Old Egyptian Museum is located in downtown Cairo near Tahrir Square. Coptic Cairo, also known as Old Cairo, is located here, with the National Museum of Egyptian Civilization, where all the mummies are, being located in Old Cairo as well. The famous Khan Khalili Market is located in Islamic Cairo, which is also often referred to as Old Cairo. Confusing, I know. With famous landmarks like the Old Gates of Cairo and many beautiful mosques located in this historic part of the city as well. The Citadel of Salah al-Din is located here, and Cairo Tower is located here, on the island of Zamalek. These are some of the major monuments, museums, and areas people visit when they are in Cairo. But there are many lesser-known historical sites, parks, and buildings around the city which I've made videos about and you can find on my channel. If you're planning a trip to Egypt, my husband and I also help organize trips for visitors and connect you with great guides and drivers. So if you'd like to know more, you can message us on WhatsApp. Our number is in the description of this video. Now that you have a better idea of where these attractions are located, let's jump back to the neighborhoods. Other common choices for travelers are in Garden City near downtown Cairo, the island of Zamalek near downtown Cairo, or in neighborhoods like Dokki, Agouza, or Mohandiseen, which are located in the city of Giza just across the river from downtown Cairo. Zooming out from the map a bit, we have other neighborhoods that are not as centrally located but still common for some travelers, such as Maadi, a neighborhood south of downtown Cairo, Heliopolis to the northeast of downtown Cairo, and even further out, satellite cities such as New Cairo or the 6th of October city. Let's talk about these neighborhoods first and then work our way inwards. New Cairo is just as it sounds, new. It's more built up and modern, with more greenery and lots of malls. It's a quiet residential area, but things are very spread out. Think suburbia in the US. So you'll need a car to do pretty much anything out here. For me, it's not my favorite choice. It lacks the chaotic yet authentic charm of Cairo, and there's not a whole lot to do out here if you're looking to see any history. It's also quite far from the city center. With little traffic, it takes around 40 minutes to drive from New Cairo to reach downtown Cairo. If you want to know more, I made a video about New Cairo, which I will leave a link to in the comment section of this video. Over in Giza, we have the 6th of October city, Although a less common choice, it is also more quiet and residential than areas close to the Nile. Just as with New Cairo, things are more spread out here, and you'll need a car to go out and do anything. This area tends to be popular mostly because of hotel chains, such as the Hyatt Regency Cairo West and Hyatt-centric Cairo West. With no traffic, it's about a 30-minute drive from here to downtown Cairo. Next, we have Maadi, a neighborhood saturated with immigrant communities, lush trees, hip cafes, and foreign restaurants. If you're looking for a quieter, calmer neighborhood to stay in that isn't in the city center but not extremely far away, this can be a good option. In a car and with no traffic, it's about a 23-minute ride away from downtown Cairo. But be aware, at night, traffic gets pretty heavy and it can take a lot longer to reach the city center. I've made a video driving around this neighborhood, so if you want a closer look, the link is in the comments. Heliopolis is the next neighborhood we'll be taking a look at. Just as with Maadi, a lot of immigrants choose this neighborhood to live in when they move to Egypt. It has a good selection of cute shops and boutiques, nice restaurants, and little cafes. Some areas are a bit busier than others, so it can be a good balance of bustling streets and quieter sections for those who aren't looking to stay too close to the action. In a car, it takes around 32 minutes from downtown Cairo with no traffic. And now we're back to one of the most popular choices, the Pyramids of Giza. As I've mentioned, there isn't a whole lot to do out in this area, aside from seeing the pyramids themselves or the Grand Egyptian Museum. But who doesn't want to wake up with a view of the pyramids or have a meal on their hotel rooftop while gazing out over these ancient wonders? If you want to stay in this area, there are a lot of budget hotels near the Sphinx Gate, which I've made videos about and will leave links to in the comments. What do I like about this neighborhood? The view and proximity to the pyramids, of course. For a night or two, I think it's great. What don't I like about this area? The distance. It takes a lot longer to get to most of the other attractions, and there isn't much to do out here. It's essentially just a small strip of hostels and tourist shops selling souvenirs, and the area is greatly lacking in good restaurants or cafes. There's also a lot of vendors trying to sell you things, guys trying to get you to take a camel or horse ride, taxi drivers looking for a customer, and some kids begging or selling scarves and trinkets on the streets. Beyond this little strip, it's local Giza. Residential, dusty streets, and nothing to do, especially at night. It's a safe neighborhood, but the streets aren't all that well lit, so it can feel a little sketchy for some travelers. Like I said, for a night or two, I think it's great. Wake up and visit the pyramids, explore the gem, soak in the views, but after that, I personally prefer being closer to where things are happening. So let's jump to my personal favorite neighborhood to stay in, downtown Cairo. Obviously, this is the center of the city. It's relatively close to many of the attractions you'll want to see, with shorter driving times to virtually all the sites. Not only that, but there is life outside. Plenty of cafes, restaurants, people walking around and shopping. You can go out at any time of day or night, and there are people, so it feels safe. Actually, I should mention, all the neighborhoods I'm listing in this video are pretty safe, but I know people tend to feel safer when there are people out on the streets versus desolate, isolated streets, and downtown definitely has people out on the streets. The downside to downtown Cairo? The noise. There's almost always going to be the sounds of traffic, and very few hotels have any windows that are going to keep that noise out completely. If you're looking for a quieter neighborhood to stay in, but still very centrally located, consider the island of Zamalek. Just about a 5 to 10 minute ride from downtown Cairo, Zamalek is an upscale, affluent neighborhood of Cairo with lots of embassies, foreign and local restaurants, bars, lots of trees, and cute little cafes, shops, and bookstores. It's a pretty small island and a lot more walkable than other parts of the city, and although you may still get some noise pollution, it's going to be a lot less than anywhere else this centrally located. I recommend staying in the northern half of the island, as that is where most of the shops and restaurants are. Next, we have Garden City, just south of downtown,
which is just a few minutes drive or 15-minute walk from Tahrir Square. This small, upscale residential and administrative district has lots of embassies, some budget hostels and hotels, and several five-star hotels, such as the Four Seasons, Kempinski Nile Hotel, and Intercontinental Cairo Semiramis. The major streets in this area are busy and full of traffic, but in between, the streets are quieter, curving, and lined with trees. I just recently made a driving tour video in this neighborhood on my motorcycle, which is linked in the comments. And lastly, we have the neighborhoods of Dokki, Agouza, and Mohandiseen in Giza, located just across the Nile River from downtown Cairo. These are busier areas and can be a bit noisier and more local, but you can still find some sections which are a bit quieter, and here you will find a mix of residential areas as well as shops and restaurants and scattered foreign embassies. With hotel options as well as Airbnbs with some nice views, these neighborhoods keep you close to the action without being in the heart of it. A taxi or Uber ride from here to downtown will take around 5 to 15 minutes, depending on where in these neighborhoods you are staying. So this is how the map looks with all the neighborhoods and major attractions I've mentioned in this video shown. This is the map zoomed out, and coming in a bit closer to the neighborhoods that I prefer to stay in, this is how the map looks.
If you want to see the streets in these neighborhoods, how they actually look, the shops and life that is happening out on the streets in the neighborhoods that you might be staying in, then check out my motorcycle riding tours around the city, because I have quite a few of them where I'm just driving my motorcycle around and showing you the areas. I actually have 2 in downtown, one in the morning and then one at night. I also have one near the Sphinx Gate by the pyramids, riding around that entire neighborhood, as well as New Cairo, a driving tour in Maadi, one in Dokki, another in Garden City. And in my next riding tour, in my next video, I'm going to be driving from downtown across the river into Giza and then back again, just so you guys can get an idea of that distance, because on the maps it doesn't look all that big, but it really is, and the streets are crazier than you might expect. So stay tuned for that, turn on notifications, give it a big like. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Ma salama.